Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, Week 6. And it was the visiting Steelers who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Pittsburgh.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep.
And he is going to lose yardage here.
The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Right back to Sanders on 1st down. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Flush to his right. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Ray certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. On 4th down, Tannehill.
That'll be taken in by Damiere Byrd. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as the defense nowhere to be found there. A gain of 20 on fourth down. Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the fourth down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game plan for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game plan for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 25. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They snap it to Tannehill. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
19 tight, 19 tight, 65 10, 65 10.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Alex Leatherwood, the Alabama man, called for the penalty there. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Play action. Here's Hurts. He's going to let one fly for Tate. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. So first interception thrown for him there, and really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
They'll take this to the 46.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Here's Tannehill. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 50. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Cameron Jordan able to record his 5th sack of the season. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running right, here's Sanders. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll go again with Sanders, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now Tannehill with a little touch pass to his wideout.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
1st and goal at the 1. Sanders is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive is 6 on the scoreboard.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
19.
Hurts. Over the middle, complete. It's Freeman. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Our first update now comes from Atlanta. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. The Browns drive about to get started. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree, because when you get that open week after a victory, it does wonders for everyone. Obviously, your body, get a chance to heal up, but your mind as well. You feel good about winning, so now you can get away from it for a few days, put down the playbook, turn off the film. Just be you. Enjoy that time away, and then you come back ready to go.
Finding room at midfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Here we go.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
The tight end in motion right. Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. He'll return it from the 6. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Warriors 17. Go.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts.
It's brought in by Wilson.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Josh Jacobs, his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Gold with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Dixon, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Tannehill. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. He's going to take another shot here.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. final shot here before the break. Tannehill.
Looking there for Pitts, ball intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, the first half very even. I mean, really in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. It's Tannehill. Being chased out left.
Tannehill intercepted again.
Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there, also a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Counter play with Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through. So he's been automatic to this part of the season, and he connects on the field goal here.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Here comes Sanders on the toss right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
That was well defense right there. He saw the play in front of him and able to hold the point of attack. Then he sheds it and goes and makes a tackle for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Back to throw, Tannehill.
Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
He's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Tannehill on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here we go.
Here we go on 4th, Tannehill.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete. And he's going to pick up the Browns' first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Tannehill now to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And that's complete to Sanders. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Short completion, just 4 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Dorsett's got him. And they get him down, but now the Ford takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play, attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
18 Rodney. 18 Rodney. 19 Lions.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the field. The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They will run the draw with Jacobs. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13, Tannehill. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Tannehill. DeSantis has got it complete. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tannehill going to get this forward on the jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Off play action, Tannehill. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you can take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball to the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
Throwing again is Tannehill. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Taken in at the 22. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. offense here, about ready for their next drive. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
From here on, any score could be the winning one, and he is certainly aware of that. Look at the way he locked in on that marker and made a mad scramble to get to it for the first down.
They go play action with Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jacobs going to try to middle. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They will look for some important yardage on 3rd down. From here, it would be a 60-yard boot.
19 strikes. 19 strikes. Go.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Now Tannehill. Looking for White, and he finds him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
All right, my man, this is now where it's risk-reward. Because on defense, you've got to crowd the line of scrimmage. You've got to get in all the gaps, get up tight on everyone, and try and force the field goal attempt here. You can't let them break one big, but you know something, when you crowd the line of scrimmage, if they do pop one, it's going to go away.
Yeah, I was going to say could take it to the house, but the magnitude of this possible upcoming field goal, every yard counts. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important 3rd down. Another run here with Sanders. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. That's going left, and Prater missed it. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Gonna look deep for Wilson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. He's going to let it go again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing is Hurts.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. A 3rd and long. You knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points, and now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Another run with Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Second and 12 now at the 44-yard line.
Now Tannehill with his first throw in OT. It's caught by Sanders. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 39. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the draw, here's Sanders.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 99 yards on the ground now for Sanders. He's got a first down.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime.
First down to the 27-yard line.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. This to win it in overtime. To the tight end, it's a fake. A big play there on the fake field goal.
Well, normally you line up to kick a field goal on 4th down. But in this situation, they decided to do it a little bit early and then still ran a fake.
I'm just shaking my head because everything about this situation is so weird. They lined up, we didn't know what they were doing. They went for it, and lo and behold, they got it.
Yeah, that's the bottom line right there. I think they confused everyone so much.
that they got the first down without confusing themselves.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Brandon, I'd go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only 2nd down, but I'd kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for 3rd. Have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's 3rd down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
They'll try and pound it in with Dillon. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So for Cleveland, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next